Well, hello. Good morning to everyone over in the Asia marketplace. Good evening to everyone in the United States and everything else in between. My name is Holly DeMott. I'm joining you from my home in Scottsdale, Arizona. And as you can see, I have an amazing co-partner tonight, and her name is Christine Peterson. She's joining us from her home in the mountains in Colorado. And Christine, are we excited for tonight or what?
Absolutely. I'm fired up. I know you are. It's the new beginning of the year of the fire horse. I mean, is this the year of possibilities? I mean, fantastic. And we're going to leadership. Are we excited?
The
I see you got your
countdown.
hair done. I got my
You
hair done.
as
We're all ready to go.
We're ready to go. What? Four more sleeps. Four more sleeps.
Right.
Okay. Yes, the year of the fire horse. I'm really excited about that. Super excited. How I look at it is, last year was the year of the snake, and that's when you really shed everything
Yeah.
that doesn't serve you. And here
Yeah.
we are going into a powerful, powerful year. And talking about the power of belief and possibilities. Um, you know, I know we're going to go back and forth tonight, everyone, so you can
Yeah.
hear from both of us with so much experience. Christine comes to the table with into three with experience as being the number one earner in her previous company. Number one earner. That's not a small feat. That company is still going, and it's been around for decades and decades and decades, and she chose three. And so I can't wait for you all to learn from her tonight, as well as everything that I'm going to be talking about and talking about belief and possibilities. And Christine, with you being a number one earner in another company, you being at three, and your belief, I see it, I hear it. Your belief with three, with your team, with the company, with where we're going. And how do you see that within your team already for 2026?
Oh, well, as I mentioned, we're really fired up. And I think what you said, it's really the belief. I have unshakable belief. Really, I, when I left my other company, it wasn't that I wanted to go, but it was that I was at the position that it was mandatory and they bought my business out. That's the way the structure was. No problems. It was wonderful. But I had a lot of companies come after me, and still do today. They'll call and say, "We'll do this. Why don't you join us?" And I go, "No, no." And so, when I received that call from George Ruiz saying, "You need to hear about this amazing new company," I said, "Well, New George, I know who you are. Let me go and hear about it," because I had been looking subconsciously. I didn't want to just retire and die. I still have more life. I want to live abundantly. I want to change lives. But in the back of my mind, you know what I was thinking? I might join another company if it were for three reasons. It would be a new company because I always know that's where the opportunity is,
Mm.
but it must be well funded, must have great leadership, and must have great vision of where it's going to be. I wanted to be in a global e-commerce platform in the world where I could work out of my home, but I could travel when I wanted. But secondly, otherwise, you could end up on a company that's it's gone in 2 years because they don't know what they're doing. And I couldn't take that chance. Here I
Mhm.
was starting a new opportunity at 80 years old. Can you believe it? But I knew what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go. So the second thing, what I was looking for, I said, if I found that new company, what would I want the product line to be? And I said, definitely, I want to be in the supplement industry. Why? The supplement industry in 2020 was $60 billion. But 5 years later, you know what it is now? In the US, $150
Mm.
billion and um, 500 billion worldwide, but going to 8 to 10 trillion dollars. But the dirty little secret is most supplement companies are manufactured in two to three big companies. They're not regulated, you know. And I said, no, 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 no. I want something that is science-based. My reputation was that was really important. I wasn't going to be selling any snake oil. And third, I said, I want the greatest compensation because we have different compensation plans in the industry. Some have older comp plans. I wanted a new, innovative where I could make more money. And when I looked at it, George talked about it, I began to look, I saw the possibilities, and I said, I'm in. And so, as I said, I could go anywhere, but I am
Mhm.
so excited about where we're going, and I have great belief in our owner, Daniel Pico, the company, the leaders like you, Holly. I mean, look at you. You've had a lot of experience. Why would you say that you chose three?
Well, I wasn't looking.
Okay.
I wasn't looking, and I share this pretty transparently. I wasn't sure that I would do this industry again. So I was with
Okay.
my first company,
Mhm.
and I was disappointed. There were some disappointments that happened, and I didn't know if I would. And when I did see the lineup, and I'm meaning products, the
Mhm.
compensation plan, the timing of the company, the compensation plan. When I saw that match, I was like, whoa. Like
Yeah.
I got that feeling, and the
Mhm.
feeling I couldn't deny. Like, when you get that instinctual feeling and it's just you just know. And I
Yeah.
knew, like, I could not deny it. And I kept thinking, what if? What
Yeah.
if?
Yeah.
And, I love this. I love this industry when done right. I always share that when done with class and integrity and with professionalism and the relationships that we get to have here. And so I chose it, and wasn't always an easy process bridging from my last company to here. And I have no regrets, zero, zero, zero regrets. And, some people may look, Christine, at both of our success and think, oh, easy for them to say, 2026 and the belief and the possibilities. And I'm like, okay, we've walked the walk. We've been through it. We've all started in the beginning, and every year is so beautiful because you get to really look at it as how do you want to be different? Like, what do you want to be different about this year than you were last year? And when we
Mhm.
talk about belief, and a lot of it's belief in yourself, and it's the possibilities, and it's like, why not you? I
Mhm.
often share with people the only thing holding you back is the right here between your ears.
Yeah.
And so going into this year, I know we have leadership coming up, and it's going to be really powerful. Really, Daniel already hinted at Saturday. He's like, you guys, some people may go crazy about what they announce on Saturday. And I was like, okay,
Okay.
I'm ready for that.
Me
And
too.
I know, and the belief. And so talking with everybody across the world, have you really been transparent with yourself? Have you looked at last year? Have you looked at, hey, what did I do really good?
Mhm.
And you want to carry that into this year. Like, it's
Mhm.
not all, I know people, Christine, want to look at their businesses and they want to say, oh, I may have fell short here, or I didn't hit this rank. And there's so much negative with that, which, hey, great, you acknowledge that. Now let's take the steps to move to you want to be and acknowledge what you did right, and skip past what you may not have accomplished. Do you come into contact with that with the people that you coach?
Oh, yes, yes. You know, people self-doubt all the time, but see the difference in the top people like you and I. Of course, we always have a few moments. I mean, that's just part of the learning experience, and anyone that says differently would, well, they talk about something else or whatever. But um, you have to, the top networkers have belief, and they have belief which creates the possibilities. The possibilities become the fuel. When you begin to focus on what you really want, maybe it's paying off that debt, getting out of your other job. You're afraid that you're going to lose your job, but you have unshakable belief. Anything can happen, just like you said, Holly, when you have a company with integrity, has great products, and they know where they're going, then you want to be all in. But the difference, I think, like you, and we both are on the same page of this, our business really, the greatest leader of all is that you create vision for your people. And it is it's
Mm,
contagious. When you have that belief, people feel it. But if you self-doubt, even though you had that bad day, like you said, people feel, oh, I don't know, you got a rejection. It's just part of our business, it's just, it's part of life. You just go on. It's nothing personal. It just no means maybe, maybe not yet, now, whatever. But you just go on. You don't let anybody rain in your parade. But
Hmm.
I just have unshakable belief, and I think that spills over to my people. I've already started this year just having fun with the fire horse. We're all becoming fire horses. It's only, hey, get this, just like Holly was talking about, we just shed the snake. I don't like
Hmm.
snakes anyway, but we shed the snake. And so now we are in the year one, which is only comes along in 60 years. So this year, we all have to be in lightning speed fire horses comes around once in 60 years. And this means,
Mm.
telling stories. It means advancing. It means speed, bold. Even if you don't feel it, you have to act the part. You have to feel the part even before the evidence appears.
Hmm.
And so it's a mind game. It is, success is a mind game. If you think I can't, nobody gets left behind in this business. People stay behind because they self doubt, they analyze, they're afraid of rejection. I felt that way when I first started the industry, and I know you do too, Holly. But,
Mm.
when you get that unshakable belief and then it spills over to your people, those people start to take action, then you get results, and then they start to duplicate. And really, if you really think about it, I was reading about this the other day, and I caught this, and I thought it's really true. It's um, an MLM leadership duplication is the ultimate multiplier. So
Mm.
what you're doing is sharing and duplicating and finding the leaders who feel that contagious fire horse spirit, and you're together. You're riding together. You can't self-doubt. Even if you feel it, you can't let on.
Mm.
People can feel it. And see, I believe in this. you know, I'm thinking, gosh, I'm going to be 83. People probably think I'm crazy. You know, my neighbors think, what? You're flying around the world and you're doing this and that. And I go, yeah, I have a mission. I'm living to over 100 with these fabulous products. And
Hmm.
I impose that on my people. They feel it, they believe it, and they follow you. Nobody
Hmm.
follows a parked car. So I think that's what the big thing is, getting your mind together. And I think you're right. What did you do last year? Don't worry about what happened last year. A fool will lose tomorrow by looking back at yesterday. That's over. We are
Hmm.
now in this first year of another cycle that comes along once every 60 years. Are you
Wow.
in or out? So I have really been driving my people. We're already going like, we're going. We want to take advantage of the next 10 months this year.
Hmm.
So when we go to leadership, we're learning, we're coming back, we're fired up. I know you're
Hmm.
doing the same thing with your team, but you don't have any time to doubt.
Exactly. Yes, everything she said, and this fire horse is once every 60 years.
Yeah.
So harness that power, and if you have any doubts of that power, you're not going to. Like you're going to harness that power and you're going to take it on. So much of this year is you have a clean slate.
Yeah.
We are all the designers of our life, every single one of us.
Mhm.
And when Christine was talking about riding together, like I picture the fire horses, like
To
we're
go.
going, and it's like you often find you say you find your tribe, and that's another thing as well. We talk to so many people in different markets, and some people are like, I wish I had what you have in Iowa. I wish we had what you have in Dallas. Like we hear that and I'm like, okay, create it, attract it. Like you have to be thinking about what that looks like in your mind really now as if you already have it for then that to happen in your area. If you're building local and that's where you want, you've got to already have it in your mind. And you've got to know the possibility and be the possibility and have that slate, draw it out. What does it look like? Feel it. And so I love dreaming. I'm a big dreamer. And
Yeah.
that's one thing with the belief in the possibilities is really have you taken the time to really sit down and hone in on what you want. So not looking at the negative, because so many people will start with what they don't want. And we hear it. And I'm like, okay, great that you can identify that. So then you have the contrast to know what you want and stay over here. Stay in this energy. And with Christine talking about the energy of the leader's energy is contagious. And that's consistency comes to mind with that. You guys, we all have bad days. The key is you don't make it a bad day, it's a bad moment. You decide, and you can do the Mel Robbins count to five and be over it. You decide how long that bad moment is. You're in
Mhm.
control of that. And then people, and pay attention to then the energy shift with you and then who and what you're bringing into your business. Who and what? We were at a coffee shop on Friday morning and we were going through this exercise of start, stop, continue. So it was,
Yes.
hey, what I want to start doing in 26, what I want to stop doing in 26, and what I want to continue. And it was interesting because one of the builders sitting there, like she was thinking about it. And sure enough, when she was writing things down, and then after we were done, someone walked through the coffee shop and she's like, I know her. Like, and it was someone she wants to meet with. So it's just you shift your thoughts of what you want and look at what's going to happen with your possibilities that you're going to bring in.
I absolutely agree with that. And you want to learn to work smart, not hard. If you want to build a big business, an MLM, asset passive residual income, you want to work smart, not hard. And that's choosing and selecting people that'll be on your board of directors. And what do I mean by that? That's picking 10 great people out that you know that have influence. Maybe they're the president of the PTA. Maybe they were the manager of the Chinese restaurant, whatever. You are the Chamber of Commerce. You're
Mhm.
looking for people that are entrepreneur spirited. They're more out looking for things. They have influence. They're people that walk into a party and everybody flocks to that person because everybody wants to be around that person. You don't want to be just going after someone that's sitting in the corner like a wallflower. And that's what we do, don't we? When we're new, we always go to talk to the people that are maybe a little less, or if they're not don't seem so important, then we if they reject us, we don't care anyway, right? But we don't want to be rejected by that high-flying influential person. But here's the reality. Those influential people are more business oriented and are more open many times because they're seeking opportunity. And there's never been a better time, also because not only because of the year of the fire horses and a new cycle that we're going into, we have an epidemic of loneliness. Ah, yeah, that's an epidemic from 45 on. I was reading an article about that the other day. So many people are looking for a community. They want to be part of something. At the same time, we have 300 million people that are going to be displaced in their work. They're going to be laid off. We know that during Christmas, UPS said they'd be laying off, like what was it, 50,000 people. You
Mm.
know, these people are out looking. And so you want to be, just like Holly said, if you're at that coffee shop, you want to be looking. Maybe you make a list of who you want, the possibilities. Maybe you want these influence. What do they look like? Cut out pictures. What do you want? Who do you want on your board? And you know what? That attraction, you will find them. That suddenly they will appear. And then you run with those 10 people. Don't try to drag the people across. Um,
Mhm.
to build a big network, you have to duplicate. You want to build the leaders. The greatest leader of all is the one that builds the most leaders.
Mhm.
And I learned that from John Maxwell,
Mhm.
one of the legendary motivational speakers, etc. So instead of just trying to get one little customer at a time, we're all going to buy the product. But, one great leader will come in and bring 1,000 people in because
Mhm.
they will have that belief, like you and I do.
Mhm.
And then it gets contagious and they attract other people like themselves. And then you go, oh my gosh, I'm out of control. Well, now you know you're in control, you know.
I always say it's like a freight train. Like your
Yeah,
business just becomes a freight train.
yeah, yeah,
Yes. And
yeah.
picture that. Your team, it's just on fire. And I love the energy of that. And when you mentioned that about developing leaders, in my first business, the pivotal point, I had two pivotal points. One was when I realized that it wasn't about me.
Yes,
And it was a big
absolutely.
turning point in my business, a huge turning point. Like it wasn't just, the conversations weren't just around me, me, me. And it was about it was people I was talking with. So it's
Mhm.
really being a better listener than it is being a talker. So the 80/20
Mhm.
rule is there's statistics behind that,
Yeah.
80/20. And
Yeah.
implementing that more. The second piece of it, I was at this self-development retreat, and I remember there was this canvas and there was a painting, and we all had to be so quiet sitting on the grass. And then every person went up and painted on the canvas. And I was sitting there, and you guys, I was really early on in this career, and I kept thinking to myself, I'm not a painter. Like, what I'm going to paint, they're going to think is so stupid. Like, I mean, how am I going to look? Like, I was so in my head with how I was going to be perceived by what I painted on this group canvas.
Mhm.
And once I did it, and of course I was probably sweating, and I went back and sat down and realized nobody cares.
It's
Nobody cares.
right.
Nobody cares what I painted on the canvas. And it was just this huge aha moment of no, people are not paying attention to you as hard as you think they are.
Mhm.
And so that it really freed me to like be more open in the business and be more free and be myself. And so you guys all have permission to be yourselves and get out of your own way and not worry about what people are thinking about you anywhere around you. Okay. So that was a
Yeah,
big lesson.
no, I think that's really a great point. Sometimes people want to air their problems or and tell the world. Nobody really cares because they have their own set of problems. And
Hmm.
really, what they're saying, everyone wears an invisible sign, make me feel important. And so I think the lesson this year is too, it just what Holly said, that was a learning lesson. It was for me in the beginning of the industry. I've been in the industry 44 years this May, and I was, what will people think? And that we all think that, and we don't want to talk to our friends. We don't want to talk to our family. What will they think? They don't like M&L. They don't. They're just not educated on it. You just don't worry about it. You just push on. You have that belief, because it's about asking questions. It's about, when I meet someone, you might give them a nice compliment or you might catch up. You don't have to be aggressive or pushy. This is a perfect time of the year to be calling all old friends, just catching up. Hi, how are you doing? How's things going? How's your job? And they'll unload because you ask the questions, and then they'll
Hmm.
start telling you all of this, and then you just simply say, "Oh, are you planning to do that forever?" Well, no. Are you worried about AI taking over your job? Are you, and they'll go and they'll start talking because you're asking questions. You're not talking, just asking questions and be quiet and
Hmm.
listen to their vibration, listen to the clues, and then say, you know what, I might have a solution. Would you be open? Just hearing about a new opportunity that might change your life. Would you be open? Might be for you, maybe not. You don't have to be attacking. And
Hmm.
so take yourself out of it. Don't worry. You don't have the perfect script. Just be authentic. People can feel if you're really authentic. And look for those sharp people. Pick the people that
Hmm.
intimidate you because you can move your business faster and quicker.
Mm, very much so.
Yeah.
So up
Up
level
level.
your list, up
Yeah.
level your dreams, your thoughts, your visions.
Yeah.
And one thing to really leave everybody with is do the start, stop, continue. If you haven't
Yeah.
done something with goal setting going into the new year and with the start, stop, continue, it really is about your actions
Mhm.
And what really put thought to it. Talk with your sponsor, talk with your team, talk with your support team, with it, through it. I think that helps,
Okay.
to really talk through it. And you may get an idea from someone else. Okay, I'm going to start doing that as well. You may have an accountability partner come out of it, and I know that's something I love, accountability partners. Love it. So,
Mhm.
Christine, anything you want to leave them with?
No, I think you said it all. We're going to have the biggest, best year ever. Just remember the
Yes.
timing is all aligned. We have the fire horses. You can all be fire horses, a herd. And then perfect timing with the job,
Yeah.
community. I mean, don't miss out. I think that's my biggest thing. Don't miss the moment. You don't want to wake up a year from now and say, "Oh, they told me about it, but I was afraid."
Mm,
Feel the fear and do it anyway. You have
yes.
nothing to lose. And if you have
Yes.
that bad day, you know, and your husband says, "What happened?" And don't come and dump or vice versa. If he says, "What's going on?" Just say, maybe you did have a date that you didn't get that new person. You didn't get this. Your goal didn't happen that day. We're in a marathon, not a sprint.
Hmm.
Just say, "It was unbelievable." Well, unbelievable could be anything, but
Hmm.
choose your words wisely because they're going in so that you're still motivating yourself.
Yes. Talk
Yeah.
to yourself wisely.
Yeah. All the time. White. Because your
Yes.
brain talks to you every minute. And you say, "What voice?" That one that just said, "What voice?" So
Hmm.
what you feed in it are the possibilities this year of where you want to go, what you want to do. And
Yeah,
you
and
can,
we're so early. We're so
yes.
early. And stay tuned for what's happening with this
Yeah.
night, Tuesday nights. We're gonna be rolling something out next week, and we can't wait be even more plugged in with some skills and some training.
Yeah.
So look forward to training. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night is going to be awesome in 2026, as it has been the last couple years. We're excited. We're excited for our event in North America in Dallas and Fort Worth this weekend. Stay close to the updates. You're going to get emails, see
Mhm.
what rolls out. And I know Asia has lots of events coming up, with Kim. And, we love it. We love the energy all across the world with what we have here at
Absolutely.
three. And let's make it the biggest and best year yet. And Christine, I'm a fire horse right with you. And thanks
Yay!
for joining. Thanks
Oh,
for joining.